everybody, and welcome to Game A Dayer. We are back. It is day 551 today here on Game A Dayer, and it is a Sunday, which means, of course, it is a Sunday story time. So, today we are going to be playing Hate Plus. Love conquers all, apparently. Let's spend the next 3 real-time days together uncovering the mystery of what went horribly wrong on a derelict generation ship, with the help of a spunky / more than slightly traumatized AI sidekick, a sequel to Analog, a hate story that tells a whole new hate story of its own. So we played Analog, a hate story. This is a remake / retelling / sequel. So we didn't play through the whole thing of Analog, a hate story, but I will link it in a card here somewhere, and you can go back and watch that playthrough if you like. And if you liked that and want to see the rest of it, then make sure you let me know in the comments of that video. But today we are going to be playing Hate Plus. It is available on Steam for $11.49 and has very positive reviews. I know I did that backward. We're just jumping back into things. Also, check it out. I've got a hat. Hat dab. Hat dab. So, if you want to play this game for your very own self, you can absolutely do that. But first, why not join us while we play it? Alright. That is Korean. Hate Plus. Let's. There's my cursor. New. Incoming message. Hey, I know you hate this kind of shit and prefer to stay anonymous, but the guys you did this last job for, the Seju Colony Historical Society, are pestering me for some details about you for a press release. Alright? You can fill in whatever, I don't really care, just give them something so they'll get off my case, okay? Okay. Question 1. Which AI did you get the documents from? You mean in the last... I don't know, Hyun-A. Let's go with Hyun-A. And is this supposed to be blinking, or is that just me? How do you describe her attitude toward you? Resentful, friendly? Well, I mean, flirty is going to make for a more interesting video, so let's go with flirty. Which pronouns should we use for you? Oh! This is good. I've been meaning to figure this out on social media. For me, personally, pronouns, use whatever you like. You want to call me he, you want to call me she, you want to call me they, you want to call me it, that's also fine. I know that's not usually appropriate for people, but whatever. The only ones that I don't really connect to are the sort of manufactured isn't the right word, because all language is manufactured, but Z and things like that, I just find them harder for the majority of people to connect to, so I mean, getting way off topic here. I am gender fluid, so I don't really... However I present to you at the time is fine. For the purpose of this game, I think I'm going to go with he. If you had to choose, what year would you rather live in? Oh, interesting. 1988, 2027, or 4989. 1988, I think, is interesting, except for the whole gender thing that we just talked about really makes me think that, a gender fluid pansexual would not have been very warmly received in 1988. 2027, I feel like 10 years from now, 8 years from now. Oh my god. Really? 10 years from now. Yeah, 8 years from now. I am very trepidatious about the immediate future, so I'm going to say the far future. Okay, great. That's all of it. I'll send it off to them now. You're still, what, 3 days or so from Earth? I'll talk to you then. Dispatch control out. Okay. Oh no. Oh no? Oh no, oh no, oh no. Jeez, I'm so sorry. If you're saying something to me, I can't hear you at all. Oh jeez, I'll explain. Well, I tried installing that advanced dictionary you got for me. And, well, I couldn't get it to work. Even the builds that were supposed to be fine just kept giving me an architecture not supported error. I don't know why. So I tried to recompile my language processing functions so I could support it, but I don't really understand how AIs work very well, I guess. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, I guess I just sort of broke it more. Like I said before, if you're saying anything, I can't hear you. And every time I try to run an English to Korean language translation, it comes out as nonsense. For example, if I try to translate your ship's name from English, I get I see, which I can't really understand. It's just like before when I was back on the Mugungwa, and I couldn't parse anything you were saying. Oh, so this is a direct sequel. I thought it was sort of a remix. I don't know. I guess we'll find out together. Sorry, are you mad at me? I'm just sorry too. Thanks. I'm glad you understand. We'll be able to get it fixed once we get to Earth, right? Right? I don't know. Oh, very well. I sure hope so. Well, I waited over 600 years to meet you, didn't I? 3 days? That's nothing. Anyway, there's something else you should know. While I was looking through my code trying to debug my damage, I found a big block of data that I thought was garbage. It's not garbage though, it's data. For some reason, it seems to be embedded in my source. I'm not really sure why. It's not part of my memories. It's in the actual machine code for some reason. The important thing is, though, I think it's log files from the Mugungwa. Hang on a second. Okay. Migungwa. It's also the Rose of Sharon, or the national flower of South Korea, so I did not know that. They have date stamps on them, and they seem to be from before the year 0. Well, I can't actually read them without extracting them, but that's what the index says. It's really exciting. What happened in year 0 that made everyone forget was always a big mystery to me. Maybe these will explain. Here's what I'm thinking. Maybe we can't communicate, but we could still go through those together. What do you think, Mr. Investigator? Can I be your sidekick again? Of course. Yay, that's wonderful. Let's investigate them together. Let me explain how this will work then. I'm afraid I can't just extract all of them at once. I can explain if you want, but that's kind of boring. Don't bother then. Very well, that's what I thought. We'll have to extract them a few at a time. I think I used the most of today's power-up running debugging though. So we'll only be able to do a little bit. But there's always tomorrow. Anyway, I'll let you decide which log files you want to extract first. Then we can read them together. Okay. Okay. Hey, could you click on me, please? Okay. Yay, it works. Right, very well. It's a little bit like on the Magungwa. I'll use that as an indicator that I want your attention. Well, that's all. Just click on me if you want to talk in the future. Okay? Anyway, let's get back to investigating together. Cool. So, we have the time. Current destination, Sol 3. That's the third planet of the solar system. Warning, ship is currently running on emergency power mode. Non-essential computer use quota in effect. My apologies for the trouble. Artificial investigator, Hyone. Read extractive documents. Disable AI. Can change the AI's clothes. Alright, I am going to put her in detective mode. Haha, that's cool. Alright, we'll read the inbox. Hard Cell Inquiry from Wong Robotics. No, I want... So you're interested in purchasing a hard shell frame for an AI construct. We've evaluated your questionnaire and we've attached a pamphlet for the model which we think will suit your needs. Marigold 89 hard shell frame. Marigold is our mainstay animation-inspired model for classic feminine presentation. For the happening construct that requires both close human integration and elegance in all things. In the Marigold frame, you can start the day with a cup of tea. Coffee would be too vulgar. In the morning, feel the breeze in your hair in the afternoon. Feel the breeze in your hair in the afternoon. Go dancing, ballroom of course, the night away. Then finish with a graceful peck on the cheek of your dancing partner. Full sensory feedback. We guarantee each Marigold's frame visual, audio, tactile, olfactory has been triple tested thoroughly to register at least 95% of standard human resolution. Of course, Marigold is compatible with all hardshell sensory systems, so whether it's for stargazing nebula with your sweetheart or appreciating strawberry crepes more thoroughly, we have you covered. The face that launched 1,000 starships. As with all hardshell models, we offer fully customizable facial designs and 12 months of free hairstyle reconfigurations with purchase. But Marigold's facial range goes above and beyond expectations. With its animation-inspired exaggerated features, you'll actually boast an even wider range of expressions than a typical human, from the subtlety of a coy smile to heartful shouting, to the slight twinkle in your eyes of happiness. In Marigold, we promise you'll be able to inspire that iku iku waku waku feeling in anyone. Newly upgraded, of course. That makes the 89 model of Marigold truly special are the additional features. The state-of-the-art Dream Machine GPU allows for perfect recollection of your most treasured memories. The patented Real Tears system allows for a revolutionary wide range of expression and of despair, plus the all-new Wonder Arm functionality will allow you to easily grab faraway teacups without even unruffling your skirt. Truly, the Marigold 89 hard frame
is the model for the happening, feminine animation-loving AI construct. Please contact us for further purchase details. All of our models are highly affordable. We're looking forward to hearing back from you on Earth. So, that's interesting. That's not as weird as it sounds based on the outcome of the first game. Just go and check out my previous video. However, we will start. We'll start what? How do we? Oh, create a new save file. We will save that file. We want to talk to disable active AI. Extract new messages. That's how we do it. We have to disable the AI in order to extract new messages. Six files at a time, you say? Let's crush a rebellion. Grandmother knows best. Grab that. Let's crush a rebellion. Can't get photograph data, I guess. Only text data allowed. Encrypted data. The death of mute. Pale bride. That's who she is. Fired. Alright, let's just grab the first two. Commit to extraction. Alright, a curious word. Let's read this. So she was newlywed. Kim So-yi. Apartment status. Just moved in. Perfectly clean. Closet full of brand new cushions and linens. Cupboard full of spotless dishes. Bed is made. Husband's insistence. Husband. What a curious word. I don't think I will ever get used to the idea. I mean, it's only been a day, but fiancé sounded just as curious to me too, and I don't feel like things are really any different. As stated, the wedding was today. Grandmother. It's really romantic. Grandmother insisted on having a big formal affair of it. Certainly not in my interest, but my only condition was that I was to have no part in the planning. It seemed to make both her and Naemun happy. I begrudgingly dealt with the stuffy traditional clothing for her sake. After all, without her matchmaking, I would I never would have been married to begin with. It was evidently in my best interest, though, after the ceremony concluded, I had another chance to converse with my grandfather, and after an entirely accidental slip of the tongue about my disgusting boss, drinking was a factor, I must confess, I am unused to how free it seems to make my tongue. I found myself with a promise of promotion to technical specialist. Even for a wedding present, that was a tremendous gesture. I'm intensely looking forward to going back to work now. Finally, freedom from the embarrassment of cleaning ashes and the ability to perform research. I will, of course, not be given my own assistant from the start, but it is still a huge step up. What else happened? Conversation with parents about moving out was emotional on their part, but largely unremarkable. They will cope. Still feel like this new home is too large for me, but it would be a lie to suggest that I don't love it. Having space for just the two of us, particularly free from awkward silence requirements in the bedroom, is as great as I'd hoped. That's nice, but I don't get what silence requirements means. It means, can I click on you? It means that they had to be quiet because they were living with people. Past that, busy day, but little else worth noting. Naked husband is seemingly reading over my shoulder right now. Still doing it. Hasn't stopped yet. Yes, knock it off. Husband is now mocking very concept of post-coital diary writing. Seemingly, he does not want me to fall asleep with me showing any manner of affection to him. Possibly any interest in sleeping on futon. Possibly even interested in sleeping on futon in another room, now expressing an unacceptably sincere level of apology. Still insufficient. You will have to do better than that, husband, if you, a file ends abruptly. Aw, they sound like a cute couple. I'm happy for them. It's true, they do sound like a cute couple. Let's see what husband means. This is the first time we've read about this person. Click their name again in another file, a log file, and I'll remind you about them. He's handsome. Grandfather? No photo on file. Right. Okay. So Naimun is their husband, whose grandmother. What did she say? This is the first time we've read about this. Kim So-hee. So this is the person writing. The language is Korean. What does she have to say about the pale bride? Ah, that's me she's writing about. Translated as the pale bride. Kim Hyun-ae. Look, there's even a photo of me. Well, that should be helpful for making an AI body. Instead of sick daughter for consistency's sake, the ship sailed on getting that one right a long time ago. Apparently it can be translated both ways. Apartment status. Bed is made. A few dishes need to be washed. Takeout containers need to be taken to garbage. Floor is clean. After 2 years without any sort of breakthrough, and dozens of appeals without any form of acknowledgement, I believe I have discovered the evidence that I need to provide definitive proof. There has always been a bizarre family legend about an eccentric but brilliant ancient Earthborn ancestor who saved his terminally ill daughter through unconventional methods. In some tellings, she is a ghost that lives in the computer. In others, she is sealed away in an alternate dimension to return when the ship has landed on a planet with fresh air. Well, I guess that sorta came true. I learned the truth from my grandmother, who we still don't have a photo of. Counselor of Engineering. Okay. At the New Year's gathering, in reality, she does exist and is merely in cryonic sleep in the family's storage closet. I caught a glimpse of her at that gathering and realized that she was the key to proving my thesis. Today I returned with my husband to their home, having offered her a great-grandchildren-related bribe in order to have success in the access to the sleeping pale bride to run tests. My theory is, as she has not consumed food or water or breathed air in nearly 1600 years, if there has been a significant increase in ambient radiation in that duration, she should be significantly less affected by it. Her chamber was sealed partially by glass, so she may not be completely unaffected, but I anticipate that the difference will be readily observable. The technology involved in her preservation seems extraordinarily designed. I can believe that it came from the same level of Earthborn brilliance that built our ship. Earthborn brilliance. Finally, someone who acknowledges that my real parents were smarter than people later on were. I really want to go back and finish a hate story. While my husband was gracefully distracting my grandparents by listening to their stories, I sat up in the storage closet attempting to open the capsule labeled Kim Hyun-ae, Pale Bride. Huh, that's a good idea. This action was easier said than done. A separate hacked-together computer was regulating the capsule, but the label switch for opening it was non-operational. It took a significant while to figure out that I needed to connect I'm just realizing now that I'm totally in the wrong place, because I'm cutting off Kyun-ae's words. So where's the best place for me? Haha, this'll work, I guess. It took a significant while to figure out that I needed to connect a secondary battery and insert an override key to enable the switch. It did not help that I was very trepidatious to fiddle with Earthborn design technology that was completely over my head. Accidentally causing damage with my clumsiness would have been disastrous. See, she figured it out. Why couldn't my adoptive father be as smart as her? Because your adoptive father was, I think, a politician, if I remember. He was more interested in his well-being than yours. The warm-up cycle took a good 10 minutes. As I watched her, I became very aware of the fact that she was a real girl, a very old one. an orphan who lost her family centuries ago, who likely had her own hopes and dreams. I found myself hoping that one day we would find a way to let her live the rest of her life, although, given the state of modern medicine, optimism would be sadly unfounded. Even after she was brought back to life by the machine, she did not actually awaken, going from a near-dead state to merely sleeping. She looked very peaceful. I tried not to disturb her too badly when I took a small sample of her blood. Still, she started to open her eyes, mumbling quietly. "Who are you?" she asked. "Go back to sleep, little one," I said, touching her face gently. "It's not time for you to wake up yet." "All right," she murmured, and she closed her eyes again. "You don't remember this at all, eh?" I suddenly felt guilty, and quickly put her back into the freeze where she belonged. It is justifiable, of course. She remains unharmed, and will continue to rest peacefully. I doubt she will think of it as anything more than a brief dream, and regardless of any discomfort I caused the poor child, proving my hypothesis may be necessary for ensuring that society thrives until the future, where she might awaken. Well, it was for a good cause, so I don't mind. Afterward, I rescued my brave husband and let my grandparents pester me about our family plans instead. I did not mind talking to them, and they discussed things more freely than the usual tone at large family gatherings. I was very alarmed to discover just how badly even the main branch had been doing over the last couple of years. Losing the counselorship and therefore nobility status has had a great impact on everyone, not just me, although I still feel my situation is worse. I guess things were tough for everyone, yeah. Hopefully, however, that situation will only be temporary. If the data received from analyzing the pale bride's blood sample supports my theory, and I am confident that it will, should give it enough strength that I will be taken seriously again. Things may not improve in the short term, but they will eventually. Of this I have confidence. This I have confidence, and the next thing we see is fired. Oh. That happened before, though. Okay. So she was fired. Apartment status. No time to make the bed this morning. Joke's on me. Dishes need to be washed. Broken mixing bowl needs replacing. Floor needs to be swept. In retrospect, I suppose it was an inevitability. For the last month, I was the only woman in the department still left, excluding custodial services and the like. Certainly the last with any sort of engineering qualification at all. Most quit. My mother tells me that all of them are pregnant now. I didn't realize my position might be in peril. I assumed I would continue to work in engineering forever. Even given the pay cuts, considering the possibility that I am actually a naive idiot. Yesterday, I delivered my report on the radiation problem to the research chief. The entire presentation took an hour, covering most of the material in the 100-page report, and he seemed to find my conclusions both reasonable and useful. At least, he said as much, and he was taking notes the whole time. He seemed satisfied that I had proven my hypothesis, that increased levels of ambient radiation had a negative impact on fertility rates. I would like to extend this research further, I told him. have reason to believe that not only could it hypothetically have an impact, but that the low birth rates on the Mugungwa are related to ambient radiation being outside safe levels. I think understanding this could be the first step in addressing a serious problem. I should think so. Well, hold off on... What? Wait. What? Well, hold off on the proposal for now, but I'll think about it. That's an interesting theory. I don't know if there's really room for funding that, but I do see the importance, he said to me. I do not understand why he did, because near the end of the day I got a message from him saying that I was fired effective the end of tomorrow. I feel as though I should have seen it coming. I suppose the friendliness was cowardice and an unwillingness to deliver the message to my face. I feel betrayed by his actions. I should think so. While I was sitting there, stunned, Han, that's the husband, that's not the first time. Oh, that's not the husband. Han walked into my office. I glared at him. He told me that my replacement had yet to be decided and that he wanted me to put his name in as the most qualified. I glared at him more, speechless, that he would suggest such a thing. If you don't, I'll tell your husband that you... And he made a vulgar hand gesture. So gross. Toward his mouth. I was sickened. I was angry. My boss treated me as though I had no value, and was bad enough, but to be blackmailed by someone like Han was beyond reproach. I think that's probably not the way that should have been stated. I am still angry thinking about it, actually. I wanted to tell him to leave me alone, that I never would. What I really wanted to say was fuck off. I tried. I was unable to work up the nerve. All I could do was log off my workstation for the last time and watch the image of Ne-moon. Pyeon Ne-moon was Kim So-yee's older husband. He seems to care about her a lot. On my desk fade away. I did not want him to see it. I tried to storm out of the office, but he grabbed me by the arm. He said that he meant what he said in a threatening tone. I didn't care anymore. Do what you will, I choked out and yanked my arm away. I hurried out, not caring what people thought as I left the department looking upset. His threats were disgusting, yes. But at that moment I felt like they had held no power. I had already lost my job, and the most important thing to me. If I have no purpose, it is hard to be afraid. I feel stupid and naive for not realizing the timing could not have been a coincidence. Being fired right after delivering my last report. Maybe I should have held on to the report. Stalled. Maybe I should have known how precarious my position was. I am an idiot. Late evening addendum to this diary entry. My husband was very nice and supportive when I delivered the news to him. I have one more day, but I do not think I'll go in, I said. Oh, hell no, of course not. Those bastards don't deserve that, he said, putting his hand on my shoulder. You're so tense. I mean, of course you are. I'm sorry, dear. Turn a bit? I'll give you a massage. I obliged, and he started to rub my shoulders. I said. It felt nice. Thank you. I don't know what else to say. Can you ask your family for help? Maybe there's something they can do about your boss. Your old boss, I mean. That's the... He suggested he was trying to be helpful, but it unfortunately was not. I don't think anyone wanted to throw around much influence since the family lost the counselorship. There's complicated politics involved. I don't understand them, really, I told him. I'll ask my dad, but I am very confident that it won't help. That sucks, he said bluntly. I agreed with the assessment. I do not know what I am going to do with my life now, I sighed and admitted. That job was everything, and I am hardly qualified to do anything else. Everyone else is settling down and having kids, but I trailed off. I did not want to offend him by suggesting I did not want to have kids with him, which is not to say that I do, but I am young, and I am sure I'll change my mind in the future. Most people seem to, and I would not assume I am any different, but right now I cannot imagine it. Thankfully, he understood. No, of course not, honey. There's no rush, he said, hugging me tightly. Only when you're ready, what do you want to do now, dear? I mean, if you don't have to worry about jobs or money or anything, what would you be doing? Well, my research is very important. I do not believe anybody else will conduct it, and I think the continued existence of the Magungwa society depends on dealing with the problem. But right now, it's not even accepted that there is one. I said, I would continue working on it regardless. It is that important. Then you should keep doing it. If it's that important to you, you're a tough girl. I believe in you, he said to me. It means a lot to me that he says those things. I turned around, sat on his lap, and hugged him. Thank you for saying that. I do not know what I would do without you. He kissed me on the forehead, a gesture that I appreciate a great deal. You're right, I am tough. It's important work. I have to keep at it, even without the official budget. The future of the ship is at stake. Well, I believe in you, sweetie, he says. She's so strong. I wish I was like her. I truly do not know what I would do without that man in my life. He does not really understand the importance of what I was talking about, I know. I have tried to explain without any success, but he is very kind and supports me regardless, and I have come to realize that it is more important. If I was still single, alone, when I received this news I was fired, I don't know what I would do. I would still be alone in my room crying helplessly, I have no doubt. I would have no determination. It is only because of his words that I am convinced that I must persevere. Yes, dear, I mean it. Even if I don't like you reading over my shoulder while I'm writing, he is doing this right now, I will certainly acknowledge that you are the greatest thing in my life, and that I am very happy to have married you. Oh, certainly. Feel free to squeeze me tighter. But right now I am going to start transferring documents from work, such that I can start planning to continue my research on the radiation problem from home. I feel freshly inspired. I may be a naive idiot, but I am determined, and I have confidence that I will be able to prove my case. I feel like we've only just scratched the surface here. Obviously, there's so much more to do here. We haven't even unlocked any hidden secrets, but I think we're out of time. I just don't have a lot more time because this is... I have to figure out how I'm going to edit this and get it up for the channel. So, Unfortunately, that is going to be it for us here today on Game Adair. Thanks so much for joining me while we've been playing Hate Plus. I really enjoy these not just fluffy visual novels with some gravity. So if you enjoyed this and would like to see more, you can of course check out Analog, a hate story that we played some time ago for the channel. There's a card somewhere for you to grab that. And if you want to see more of this, then please give it the old thumbs up. Give it some love. And let me know in the comments down below that you'd like to see more. As you know, if a game on this channel gets enough likes, currently 100, it'll get that game a full playthrough as a bonus video for the channel. So if you want to see the rest of Analog, a hate story, then you know what to do. Have your family, friends, pets, and loved ones all do the same. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, and when you do, don't forget to hit that dingy bell, because that will let you know when I upload new videos, which I do every single day. My name is Step. We have been playing Hate Plus here today on Game Adair. Thanks so much for joining me, and please come back tomorrow when we'll be playing something for Tuesday, whatever it is. I need to get back into the swing. Monday, whatever it is. Mobile Monday. That's it. Thanks, everybody.